In our society, teens and young adults are expected to do simple chores around the house and perhaps find a job. However, this is not the case for over 250 million children worldwide who participate in manual labor that is detrimental to their well-being. Child labor can be defined as work that is being done by children under the age of 15, which limits or damages their physical, emotional, intellectual, social, or spiritual growth as children. These children work night and day with little to no pay in horrific conditions that strain their bodies mentally and physically. This sadly is the reality for many children who are at the starting lines of a chain that ultimately ends with the production of our clothes and day-to-day needs. These children are deprived of the basic rights of attending school and receiving an education. Child labor has been an international problem for many years as it damages and destroys the future of children. This is a problematic issue that takes place all around the world and takes the lives of innocent children and needs our undivided attention to assist changing the lives of these children who are unfortunately stuck in a cycle that is never ending. Child labor is the leading global issue in underdeveloped countries. Current causes of child labor include poverty, lack of education, and violation of rights. Undoubtedly, a dominant factor behind child labor is how overpopulated and poor these countries are, leaving children with little to no rights. When the monetary earnings of the provider do not add up, children are involuntarily selected to find work wherever possible. Having a large family under the poverty line puts a strain on the financial situation, leaving parents compelled to send their children to earn an extra income. Africa and Asia together account for over 90% of total child employment. Living in poverty, individuals are often unable to afford an education for their children, nor do they understand the significance of primary education in their child's life. This creates a mindset that does not comprehend the possible dangers of manual labor and what it can inflict on a child. The laws regarding child labor that do exist are not enforced or include violations that allow labor to persist in certain sectors such as agriculture or domestic work. For example, Kenya's law prohibits children under the age of 16 from industrial work. However, this excludes agriculture. Despite this law put in place, there are still over 2.9 million children in Kenya involved in child labor. The laws set in place are not fully protecting children from hazardous conditions that they are exposed to. Not only can manual labor affect the child physically, studies have shown that children working in hazardous conditions have been linked to issues regarding cognitive development. Each year, nearly 2.7 million lives are lost due to child labor. Operating dangerous machinery, such as electrical saws, cause children to lose limbs while under the supervision of the employers who care more about the clothes being produced than a human life. With that being said, the children often face serious health issues that the employers give the children unreasonable hours in health-defying environments. The underage children are almost always malnourished and forced to continually work with little to no break. Their mental health always takes a beating due to this serious form of exploitation. Being a child, it is a time to build relationships in order to gain communication skills and to feel confident with company around you. However, since these children spend a majority of their time at work, it prevents from developing these relationships, leading to adults with risk of emotional problems. Children who are involved with child labor are at a greater risk for developmental interruptions because of the many health risks it imposes on the child. However, if more laws were to be put in place and consumers were made aware of who made their clothes, child labor could be monitored, reducing the number of children exposed to half of what it is seen as today. With awareness comes change. A change will be seen when every child in underdeveloped countries will be able to go to school. It will be seen when a child will no longer have to compete with adults for jobs, and it will be seen when children have their childhood restored.